Hey guys, how are you guys doing today? Today I just wanted to finish up the kind of mental health series, and I'm gonna finish up like on a high note with like self-care and what I found on the internet and what I do to kind of perpetrate is not the word I want, but self-care. So I'll just jump right into it. You know, depression and anxiety and mental health issues take a toll on, like we talked about, take a toll on not only your, obviously your mental health, but your emotional health, your physical health. Like, it can really wreak havoc on your body and your relationships and things of that nature. So that's why like self-care is so important, so you're not destroying yourself, you don't become self-destructive. And so basically what self-care is, the definition I found, I think I found it straight off of Google when I Googled it. It's the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. So if like it's been a really stressful day at work or week or month or whatever, you just kind of need to take a step back and be like, okay, I'm going to relax. I can't do anything about it at home. I'm going to leave my work stress at work, or whatever it is that's going on. It's just taking time for yourself. So I looked into some Psychology Today journal blogs. Yeah. And like a Forbes one. I couldn't find like and I'm sure they're out there. I honestly didn't look that hard. I just Googled them. I was like, these are okay. They're certifiable enough. Like articles and stuff like that off Googling. So this one article is just like, self-care is a huge part of what's missing in the life of someone who's busy and stressed. And self-care is in essence a mindful taking of time to pay attention to you. And it's not a narcissistic meaning of taking care of yourself, but in a way that ensures that you are being cared for by you. Like if you put all your time and energy of taking care of someone else and making sure everyone else is good and in a good mental and emotional state, but then you're over here just feeling exhausted and worn ragged, you need to take a step back and be like, okay, everyone else is good, and let me take care of me. And then it can they talk more of, even though it's from Psychology Today, you think it would talk more about the mental aspects, like with depression and anxiety, but it talked more about stress and things like that. And also, in a way, comes from a bit of a privilege. I'll read it off. A privileged place. It's like, what does that look like, and how do you take care of yourself in order to avoid burnout and avoid compassion fatigue for those who care for others by profession, or just say you're a mom and you have 3 kids and you're doing everything for them, taking them, making sure they get to school on time, making sure they're fed, they're clothed, helping them with homework, and their friends end up becoming your kids basically. So you gotta make sure everyone's good, and you just make sure everyone's happy and taken care of, and then at the end of the night you're just like you gotta take care of yourself so you can, because if you're burnt out and your body stops functioning, you can't take care of anyone else either. So you gotta make sure you're in check. And fatigue for those who care for others by profession. And like if you're a nurse or something, a lot of nurses, especially in this area, they'll work 12 to 24-hour shifts. You're gonna be burned out. That's a lot to ask for one person. And this is where it said it comes from kind of like a privileged area. It says quitting your job or taking 6 months off decompress is seldom an option for most people. Because it said earlier in the article, I just cut out like what was most poignant or most practical. There's like, yeah, quit your job if it's stressing you out, or take a 6-month vacation or something like that. And the 1% only has that luxury. The rest of us, we do not. We have rent to pay, bills to pay, we want food in our fridge and a roof over our head. So it's just kind of trying to find realistic ways to take care of yourself. So the Forbes article gave 10 easy habits to get started. It's the name of it, in practicing self-care. And again, I will link both of these articles down below. It's like, the first one I like a lot. And obviously I want to set out, like, the best self-care, especially when it comes to depression and anxiety, is going to a therapist. That's going to be the number one way to make sure you're taking care of yourself and all of that. But as I've mentioned, not a lot of insurances cover psychology or cover mental health issues, cover going to a psychiatrist or psychologist, a therapist. So if you have that, if you can, definitely do that first. Definitely go see a therapist first. But these are other ways to do it. Like if you're not able to, like your insurance won't cover it, you can't afford it, or you live in a place where there's the closest psychiatrist maybe an hour or so away, things like that. I know it's getting better, but I know like definitely in the Southeast there are some really tiny towns that they're lucky to have a single primary physician, let alone a therapist or specialist. So it's not as easy as just being like, hey, go to a therapist. So these are like little things to help you in your everyday, day-to-day life that may help you take just a little bit of time for yourself to take care of you. So knowing your worth is the first one, which is really important. It's just like, work's pushing you around and expecting you to do this and that, but they're not, giving you anything else, or you're in a relationship and the significant other is just like me, and you gotta be like, hey, this is an us thing, or you want me to do all this but I'm not getting compensation for it. It's just making sure you know what you're worth and not letting people take advantage of you. And also what they say is self-care is important to maintain a healthy relationship with yourself, as it produces positive feelings and boosts your confidence and self-esteem. Also, self-care is necessary to remind yourself and others that you and your needs are important. So a lot of times, like my last job, they would call me in and I would go every time. Like say I'd be scheduled for 2 days out of the week, if that. But I would get called 5 times out of the week to work 5 other shifts. So that'd be 7 shifts they wanted me to work. Well, eventually I got to the point where I'm just like, I'm exhausted. Either schedule me for those hours to begin with so I can prepare myself, or get somebody else. Because I'm clearly the only person you're calling in. Maybe you need to adjust things, and I'm not gonna just be your little errand girl basically and just do whatever you want on my day off when maybe I plan something else, or things like that. And then it's just being like, hey, I know my self-worth, I know what I can do, what I can't do, what I should be doing, what I'm paid to do, and I'm not going to be do more than that unless you compensate that. And so that's very important. And that kind of gives you power over yourself, and for people to realize, be like, oh, okay, we can't walk all over her. We can't use her or yourself like that. We can't use that person like that. And kind of makes people respect you no more. It's kind of like self-respect too, in that if you respect yourself, others will respect you. And then there's always going to be those assholes who don't care whatsoever, and you just need to stay away from them if at all possible. I know it's hard to in a work environment, especially in corporations and stuff, but if you can, stay away from those people. They're toxic. You don't need them in your life. So, a healthy work-life balance. A lot of the things I read kind of, I mentioned already, revolve around like work and life. And as you get older, unfortunately, that's like all your life becomes is work, home, work, home, work, home. So it's definitely good to have a work-life balance. And I know like retail and we were talking about the healthcare professions, they don't allow for that, which is frustrating. So, it says, the first sentence it says for this is, contrary to common belief, workaholism is not a virtue. Overwork and the accompanying of stress and exhaustion can make you less productive, disorganized, and emotionally depleted, burned out. It can also lead to all sorts of health problems, from anxiety to depression to insomnia and heart disease. Diseases. Professional self-care habits like taking intermittent breaks for lunch, calling your mom, or taking a stroll, setting professional boundaries, avoiding overexertion, etc., ensures that you stay sharp and motivated and healthy. So that's kind of like how I was saying, just like when they would try to call me in for 5 extra shifts that week, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing it. You could have scheduled me and we wouldn't have had this problem. And I know that kind of sounds shitty, but when you do that for like 6 months, every single week, like you look at your schedule and be like, oh, okay, I only have 2 shifts this week. And then you get called in, like I could be at the grocery store, get called in, be like, hey, can you come to work in like 30 minutes? I'm like, we'll make it an hour and I'll be there. And you kind of just get a feeling like you're exhausted, and then you don't feel like you're appreciated for coming in, covering somebody's shift who called out. And so I just like started setting those boundaries. I'm like, don't call me in unless it's an emergency. And retail, I mean, you're on your feet the whole shift. You don't get to sit unless you're during your break. So you just gotta be like, my body can't do this. Mentally, I cannot do this. Can't be here every day, every single day, every single week, every single month. I need at least a day or 2 off. So it's just, being like, this is what I can do to yourself, and this is what I can't do. And providing those boundaries for yourself and the people around you. And like during my lunch, instead of sitting in the break room, I would sit in my car and just like listen to music or watch YouTube videos or something. Just kind of get myself out of that whole stressful area and situation, because it's just like, it's my break. I don't want to have to deal with work. I don't want to have to talk to people I'm gonna see for the next 4 hours that I've already dealt with 4 hours previous. Just want to be away from it. And that was like a little thing I did for myself. A lot of places don't let you like take intermediate breaks, but anymore, at least not in retail. I don't know. I think like if it's sometimes like the jobs I've been in, you could take like a 10 or 15, like if you had a bad headache or there was an emergency, you had to take a phone call or something like that. But for the most part, they don't want you taking breaks, period. And the next one is stress management. Well, this is something that I used to be really good at, and then I don't know, I just stopped being so good at. My body could only handle so much. And by body, I mean I include mental health too, and emotional health. So stress management. While a little dose of stress is healthy, is a healthy way to give us a nudge that we will need to meet. I scrolled up. Meet deadlines or finish that overdue task. Constant stress and anxiety can have an adverse effect on your mental and physical health. Smart self-care habits like eating healthy, connecting with loved ones, or practicing meditation cuts down the toxic efforts of stress by improving your mood and boosting your energy and confidence levels. So basically it's like, take a break. It's essentially what it's saying. I guess I can see how like eating healthy would, in a way, because then you're not too terribly worried about your health, because that's one thing that really stresses me out is my health and stuff like that. And like connecting with a loved one, I can say a lot, like, just planning like a coffee or a lunch or dinner with a friend at the end of the week just to meet up, catch up, is really nice and can help like de-stress you. And it's just like, some people work well under pressure, but at the end of the day it still weighs on you. Like if I'm really stressed, I'll get really stiff right here, so it has like, and then my brain feels fuzzy and foggy, and I'm just like, oh, I just need to take a break. So, okay, the next one is start living, stop existing. So, like, work life, work life, work life. I mean, home. Yeah, work home, work home, work home. Life is a precious gift, so why waste it when we have the choice to have a more meaningful existence? Yes, you have. And the next sentence I'm glad to point out, because that does sound straight from like privileged area. Yes, you have a lot of responsibilities. Fixing the dryer, mowing the lawn, paying bills. But it's important to remember that taking care of yourself is also your responsibility. Little things like sipping tea while looking at the raindrops racing down the window glass, enjoying a bubble bath, or reading a book are essential for your daily happiness. While things like taking up a new hobby or learning a new language can make your life more purposeful by giving you... Sorry, their grammar's not great here. By giving you a new reason to get up in the morning. Why did you start that sentence with while? Okay. So, I mean, if you're working a 12-hour shift or 24-hour shift, you're going to go home, put some food in your body, and go to bed. So, maybe if you get weekends off, you have time to play a video game or watch a movie or read a book. And these are all important things to do, and that you have to kind of schedule in the time to do, because otherwise you're just going to run yourself ragged. But it's not as simple as just like taking a 2-hour lunch break and reading a book or something like that. You just got to make it work for the time that works best for you. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't have any time. And you don't. And so you just got to kind of take like the end of your day, while you're waiting on dinner to finish cooking or something, you can take a second, read a chapter of a book. Just something like that. Or maybe you like crocheting or knitting, or do that real quick, like 30 minutes of that. Just a little something that's not going to take up too much daily time, while something else is like on autopilot that you don't have to put too much effort into, too much focus into. Better physical health. Self-care is not just about your mental health. It's also about caring for your physical self by eating healthy, taking adequate sleep, caring for your hygiene, exercising regularly. And we've talked about this in both the depression and anxiety videos, where it's like if you're depressed, you're not going to go take that 5-mile run. You're going to want to, like, I mean, mine just kind of displays itself in sleeping all day. But I know people who are like, shower's not the top of their priorities. They're just like, I'm not going anywhere. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't see anyone. So it's just like not up there. But if you are able to get up and go, these are good things to do. You know, eating healthy makes me just feel internally better. Like I don't feel weighed down after I do eating tacos or something. Like eating a salad, I feel light, but I'm still full. If that makes any sense. Taking adequate sleep, I don't know what that is, so you guys tell me. I don't know what sleep is. And I've been exercising regularly since before Christmas, and I'm definitely seeing like good effects, and some I'm just like, okay, I might be 28, but it's not as young as it used to be. So I just gotta like slow my roll. But I definitely have more energy most of the time. I'm not eating, when I eat junk, it just upsets my stomach immediately. So I'm kind of trying to stay away from it and eating healthier. And I think I said I already have energy. It gives some little things you can do, little tips, I guess, suggestions. It's like, go for a run or a light jog, meditate or deep breathing for 5 minutes, take a break when you need it, choose who you spend time with. That one's really important, because there's a lot of people who will masquerade as your friend or a loved one, or someone who pretends to care about you, but they're actually a really toxic person, and you don't need to be around them. If you feel negative around them, like you don't want to really be around them anymore, or you're just like, why am I hanging out with you again? Then you don't need to be around them. If they gaslight you, if they lie to you, if they manipulate you, but then say, oh, I care about you, they don't care about you. So you don't need them in your life. It's your time. You choose who you get to share that time with. And then laugh heartedly at least once a day. For those of you who've played Final Fantasy X, you know which scene I'm talking about. And that's exactly what I thought of when I just read this. That's the creepiest scene in any video game ever. So, if you guys know what I'm talking about, comment below. Eat greens daily. Eat, like, a salad or a smoothie, like one of those green smoothies. It's something. I mean, easier said than done. We've talked about that. Avoid emotional eating. I mean, I feel attacked. That's all I do. Come on. Start a journal. This one really does help. And it's just like I said, it's something you can do when dinner is cooking. You don't have to do too much. You can just like write about your day, your thoughts, anything that's bothering you. Just let it all out on paper. Nobody's gonna read it but you. Hopefully you have privacy. So you just write down everything that's bothering, everything your mind is spewing out. It doesn't have to be grammatically correct. It doesn't have to be full sentences. It can be one word. It can be a letter. You know, just a little something to get the whole day out in a journal, which is nice. Learning to say no and like setting the boundaries. That was something I've had to learn. Was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I've learned this recently. Like, I used to be like, when I first started the job and they would call me, I'm like, yes, I'll take all the hours. And I was just like, no, no, I don't, I'm burnt out. I don't have the time to do anything I want to do. I have no time for myself. I can't. And the way retail works, especially when we opened at 7 a.m. and closed at 10 p.m., that's 17 hours. I think that's how time works, right? I don't know. It's not. But that's a long day. That's a full day and night, basically. You know, if it's 10 a.m., I'm at the store, they want me to come in at 2 to close, then my day's pretty much gone. I can't do anything in the afternoon I would need to do. Or if they want me to come in midday, like 10 to 7, whole day is pretty much gone. I can come home, make dinner, go to bed, because by then it's 10 p.m. after all that. So it's just, you had to like, no, this is what I can do. I can't do more than that. And just saying no to like other job offers I've gotten. I'm just like, you know, the pay's okay, but is it what I want to do? And I asked myself, like, is this what I want to do? Do I feel comfortable doing it? And so far the answer's been no. Like, people are just trying to, like, get more people into the machine, basically. And I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. Which is easier, like, I say that out of a place because of kind of privilege, basically, because I gotta live with my parents. I don't have to worry about rent. I do have bills to pay, but I don't have utility bills or anything like that. My car's paid off, so I don't have to worry about, you know, my car getting repoed or anything like that. So, I'm able to say no to certain things that if I had to pay rent and utilities and a car note or, you know, a mortgage or something like that, I wouldn't be able to say no. And I do realize that. So, I just want to kind of be like, I know this is not something everybody can do. Stop overthinking. I am so bad about overthinking. Like, I will constantly, like, just not, my brain will not shut up sometimes. And I have to tell myself and be like, okay, why are you overthinking this? That's not going to happen. So what's wrong? Hopefully my battery doesn't go out anytime soon. Oh, I'm almost done. It's flashing at me. Alright, and that's the list for that stuff. So I just want to talk about like little things I do. I talked about how, you know, I exercise regularly now. And one thing I like to do is take baths, not only because it's just soothing and relaxing, but also my body hurts all the time. So what I like to use for my bath times, or like Bath salts. None of this is, obviously none of this is sponsored. Like, you guys, you know it's not. But bath salts, I clearly need more. I use it a lot. I like to put bath salts and bubble bath. Like, I like to get the relaxing ones, like the lavender and the stress relief ones. Like this is eucalyptus and spearmint. I like stuff like that. And I use Dr. Teal and like the off-brand Dr. Teal stuff basically. Because, this isn't for everyone, but like Bath and Body Works bubble bath, it smells great. But it messes up my pH, which is not good. So just kind of check when you are, if you look into stuff like this, that it's good. It's kind of trial and error. Make sure it doesn't mess up your chemistry, I guess. I also like bath bombs, and again, I get them from like Lush and places like that, and it's all natural products. This was a present, but yeah, I like little like fizzing bath bombs. It's very soothing. Sometimes like when I have a bubble bath and I just want to act like I'm a child again, I'll use those little bath drops. It'll color it and it'll make different colors, which is a lot of fun. I know it's like for 2-year-olds, but I don't care. And I love face masks. Face masks and like there's hand ones and feet ones now. They're great. I love them. They're so soothing. And that's when like I try to do a bath every week or so. It's really soothing, it's really relaxing, and I just take like a good hour to myself. And I take my baths when everyone's gone to bed, so no interruptions. And just get to relax and just like zone out. It's kind of my form of meditation, because I'm not very good at sitting still and just being quiet and breathing and just trying to zone out. So that's my way. That's my form of meditation. And sometimes I like to go on a walk or something like that when I have the time, or just talk with a friend. So that's what I like to do. Cosplay is kind of a self-care thing, because well, it can be really frustrating. At the same time, it soothes me, if that makes any sense. So I think that's about it for self-care. If I think of anything else, I'll add it on later. What are some tips and tricks that you guys use? And let me know. Let everybody know in the comments. Hopefully this was helpful, kind of informative. I didn't have a lot to go on. And again, the best self-care is going to a therapist when it comes to mental health and kind of just life in general. And these are just some tips if you can't get to a therapist for whatever reason. But I love you guys. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys later.